What's up, everybody? It's HoodiePal22 coming at you again with another video from NBA 2K26. This is my trade deadline roster, the last 10 teams. For those of you who have not been keeping up with my videos, I told you guys I was going to do 3 videos of 10 teams so I could dive deeper in depth, letting y'all know what I updated. So, basically, what I'm going to be telling y'all what I updated in this roster. But for those of you who don't know, I made a Christmas Day roster, right? And that Christmas Day roster was the last time I did ratings and tendencies and things like that. So when I tell you if somebody ratings went up or down, it's based off of my Christmas Day roster that I made. Now I did a ratings video to that Christmas Day roster, which came from the preseason roster, which is where I did who went up and who went down. So for those of you who get confused on what do you mean they went up and what do you mean they went down, I put out a preseason roster first, which is what I do every year, and I make my NBA around it so I can have a preseason roster. But I also put out a Christmas Day roster, which is when I update the ratings and tendencies and things like that. I let you guys know what changed in the new roster. So this is the trade deadline roster, which will be what I will be updating until the trade deadline, and then I will be doing the end of season roster, uh, which is right before the playoffs, and then I do a playoff roster. Um, And then after that, we'll do a 2026 off-season roster, which is pretty much like from July forward. So you could go in and play like a 2026 season before it starts, because 2K doesn't drop the game till September, which is right before the preseason. So we have pretty much like July, August, and September um to play until the next game come out. All right, so I did 10 teams. The last 10 teams, I can't remember. It was Pelicans, Pacers, Nuggets, Nets, Mavericks, Magic, Lakers, Knicks, Kings, and I think it was Jazz. Yeah. So, and this one is gonna be Pistons through the Wizards, and I made some corrections to other teams. So let's get into it. Jalen Duren went -1. I feel like an 86 was too high for him. Uh, I had to like redo some of his ratings because I mean he can't shoot the 3-point shot at all. I mean he can't really shoot the mid range shot. I don't understand how that's a B minus because he can't shoot the mid range shot at all. Okay, it's at a 74, so somehow a 74 gives you a B minus. I don't understand these grades. Um, his ball handling is not that good either. Uh, so he's pretty much like a Jared Allen type player. He can't really shoot the three or the mid range, but he's a good post defender. He's a good defender and rebounder and around the basket scorer. But as far as like anything else, I mean, yeah, for me, I say 87 and up is like all star. Well, you could say 86. 86 and up is like considered all star type players. Now they may not have won an All Star yet or been in an All Star game, but I just don't see him as in like an All Star player. Maybe not yet, but he's very close. Duncan Robinson went -2 to an 81. I moved him back to shooting guard. I like at one point he was playing small forward, but I guess the way they're doing the lineups, he shifts from shooting guard to small forward, and yeah, so I moved him back to shooting guard, and he dropped 2 points. I think 2K has this logic where like small forwards is just like spot up shooters, or where they feel like people with not much good defense can like guard the three. I don't know, because when I move players like Gary Trent Jr. to shooting guard, their rating goes up. And when I move people like AJ Green or Matt Strus or Sam Merrill to small forward, it's like their rating goes up, but when I move them at shooting guard, it goes down. So I don't know. I don't know the logic between that yet. Maybe it's the speed or the athleticism. I don't know. Um, but yeah, Isaiah Stewart went -2 to a 79. I feel like I had him too high too. Which this is pretty much projection, but you can go along with statistics. Um, I don't really get into statistics much on this channel. Um, if you pretty much want statistics, I mean, let's see if we could give you one for Isaiah Stewart. Um, Isaiah Stewart is averaging 10.1 points per game with 36% 3-point percentage and 1.2 assists, 5.6 rebounds, 53% field goal percentage. That's pretty average at best. I mean, but the last 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh, I don't know. His statistics in the last few games ain't been that great. Yeah, so he will go -2. He will go -2. Karis LeVert went -2, and I moved him to small forward. Um, there goes that logic again. Like I don't know if it's just like if there, it gotta be something like the way 2K logic is built around these small forward shooting guard positions. Um, Green, uh, Javonte Green went -3. I moved him from small forward to shooting guard. And I turned down his intangibles some, but he did drop when I moved him from small forward shooting guard. But I hit his intangibles song to drop him out of the starting lineup. Uh, Asar Thompson went +3. I moved him back to small forward. He was at power forward. He went +3, and Marcus Sasser went -2. He's fell out of rotation. Dennis Jenkins is pretty much the backup guard. And they're really giving Jaden Ivey some minutes too as well. Let's look up Jaden Ivey's stats real quick. Jaden Ivey. Yeah, he's been pretty much of a mid-tier player. He had 7 points against the Celtics, 5 points against the Pacers, 15 points against the Sun, 8 against the Clippers, shooting 0 for 5 from 3. He had 8 against the Bulls, shooting 0 for 2 from 3. He struggled from 3-point line. And 22 against the Knicks. No, 16 against the Knicks. 7 against the Cavaliers. And 2 against the Heat. 9 against the Lakers. So he's been averaging like 8 points per game. 46.3 field goal percentage. 36.1. I don't know how he's averaging 36 with a lot of these duds in these games. But yeah. He's the backup shooting guard. I mean, I think he's good at being a 76. Sasser fell down below Ivy. And when I just told you Jaden Ivey numbers, that should let you know why he dropped so far. This is like the third straight update where Sasser has dropped. I was pretty high on him too, but Jenkins has taken over. Ron Holland went +3, and I moved him back to power forward. He does need a face scan update because he has dreads. Anyways, Chaz Lanier went +1 to a 73. He was playing in times when Ivy was out or when Toby was out. For those of you who don't know who Toby is, it's Tobias Harris. He's actually back as well. All right, that's enough of the Pistons. Getting over to the Toronto Raptors. I did fix Brandon Ingram's age thing, and I got his birthday correct now because uh, I had used another. I used the rookie Brandon Ingram, and it messed up his age, and I couldn't fix it every time I tried to fix it. But they had Brandon Ingram's shoes locked on the original 2K roster, so when I switched it back, it unlocked his shoes and allowed me to equip him with the KD 18s, and I was still able to keep everything else that I edited on him. So yeah, uh, but his rating didn't move. He's still in 88. He's the best player on this team. Uh, RJ Barrett went -2 to an 86. He was in 88, but I mean, he hasn't really been doing much. He's actually been hurt a lot this year, which is really holding the Raptors back. When he's healthy, they play pretty good. He's averaging 19 points per game, 19.6 points per game this season, shooting 49.6 field goal percentage. That's pretty much that's pretty good. Um, he's just been hurt a lot. So I went -2. Quickly went -2 to a 79, which he did just recently have a breakout game. But that was before I finished these ratings already, and I don't move my ratings that quick. You have to do more than one game before I move you. Uh, Jacob Pertl. I heard his name was Pertl. I kept saying Politl, but some people told me it's Pertl. So I guess that OE is like some kind of weird pronunciation. I don't know. But anyways, he went -1 to a 78. Jamal Sheed went +1 to a 78. And I had to increase his speed. I had him in the 70s. But when I watched his game, he was actually way more faster than I thought he was. He might actually be one of the top 6 or 5 fastest guards in the NBA right now. Like, no exaggeration. Scotty Barnes went -4 to an 86. I had him at a 90, but that was too high. Like, that was way too high. He's not putting up the same numbers that he was putting up before. Now, he did recently just have like a 4-game stretch where he dropped 26, 22, 24, 26. He had 26 against the Pacers, 24 against the Clippers, 22 against the Lakers, and 26 against the Warriors. Now, he's not shooting that good from 3, so I might need to drop his 3-point rating down a little bit more. But I don't know if that'll cook his rating. No, it didn't. And I'm going to turn his 3-point tendency down because he's not really chucking that many threes. Colin Murray Boyles went +2 to a 78. He has been a hidden gem. Like, coming out the draft, like, no team was pretty much big on him. Like, his draft stock tanked. And then for him to be playing like that good like he is now, I went up on his peak years. I went up on his potential. I got him at an 84 right now. I think I should do an 86. I think he'll be a pretty much legit player in a few more years. I could start his peak at 24. Oh, I already did it. Yeah. Jacoby Walter went +1 to a 74. He's been playing, and he doesn't have the dreads anymore. He cut his hair. So this is the style that he's going with now. Getting over to the Houston Rockets. Kevin Durant went +4 to a 90. He's been playing pretty good. He's pretty much been like their uh what do you call it? Hero with no cape. He went for almost 40 against the Timberwolves. He had like 28 against the Bulls and 30 against the Trailblazers. He had 37 against the Trailblazers, and those were back-to-back games. They wasn't back-to-back, like I think it was like a day in between both those games. But yeah, they played in Portland both of those days too. He had 26 and 34. He's been averaging 26 points per game. I had him at an 86. So I moved him to +4 to a 90. He's pretty much like the captain of this team. And I figured I'd give him the lead in rating. Aprin Sengun is right behind him. He didn't have a ratings move, but I did adjust a lot of his tendencies. His playmaking is actually good. So he got the ball hawk and crafty play slash, and I like his play, but I couldn't put his rating above KD because I mean KD is like carrying this team. I also fits KD's shoes. I gave him like the Slim Reapers. Now I don't know if they will show on your roster, so I may have to do like a video showing you how to make the Slim Reapers. Or you could just do the colorways on KD and then like they'll change over to like a darker kind. What I mean by colorway is you go right here, colorway, you go down to KD, and when you click on it, it'll pull up like the, hold on, go to colorway, KD. Why is it not pulling up? Oh, no. Okay, you gotta go to model. Go to model, click KD 18, and you can pull up those and use the regular ones. They're not the Slim Reapers, but I mean, that's close. I'll make a video though. I'm not gonna do y'all like that. Anyways, Steven Adams with -3 to a 77. I had him at an 80. That's entirely too high. I mean, he doesn't really have. I mean, he barely plays because he stays hurts a lot. Ever since OKC, I mean, Steven Adams been hurt a lot, man. He's averaging like 5.8 points per game. He's only averaging like 1.6 assists, but he's still giving you like 8.7, 8.8 rebounds per game. With the 5.8 points, I couldn't leave him at an 80. So I dropped a lot of his scoring, as you can see. And I dropped his perimeter defense and some of his athleticism. He does not move like he used to. I guess it's all those knee injuries. I was pretty high on Steven Adams, especially in his OKC days. When you get down here, ever since he left OKC, he's kind of been like injured a lot. I mean, the 2 years with Memphis, he played pretty good his 2 years in Memphis, but he stayed hurt a lot. The 1 year in New Orleans, and then now with Houston, Capella has actually been picking up most of the minutes when he's out. Tristan Newton was added to a two-way contract, and they cut Tyler Smith. I think it was just to get like more guard play because Aaron Holiday hasn't really been doing anything. I went +2 on Tristan Newton to get him up to a 70. And that was it for the Rockets. Getting over to the San Antonio Spurs. I redid a lot of tendencies on the Spurs, especially like with Wembanyama. I went through and redid a lot of tendencies. He pretty much just shoots a lot. He doesn't really stay in the paint. He does more like step back and pull up jumpers. I like his game. I really like his game, but I think he should get like everybody's telling him to play big, but he has a slim frame. I mean, he's tried to gain weight. He can't gain weight. Um, I think we just have to admire who he is. He's never gonna be a Joel Embiid, but I mean his play style is going to keep him healthy because I mean he's fragile. He shouldn't be a center. He should be a power forward. And he shouldn't be in the post. That's not what he does. He gets hurt when he's down there banging with centers. Um but anyways, I just redid a lot of tendencies. No ratings change on this roster. I redid a lot of the tendencies to a lot of players. Um, I did edit the coach tendencies though. Not tendencies but ratings. I went plus 10 on the offense, made it an 85. I went plus 15 on the defense and made it an 85. I went plus 10 on the charisma, made it a 70. Plus 20 on analytics, made it a 70. And plus 10 on potential. I don't know if he's gonna reach that type of potential though, but I mean, with the team he got, he should like pan out to be like a Steve Kerr type coach. Maybe he has the roster to do it. Getting over to the Phoenix Suns, Jamari Bouye went plus 1. He actually plays pretty good when he does play. Um, he went plus 1 to a 74. Kobe Brea went minus 2 to a 72. He wasn't even in the lineup. They was actually playing Isaiah Livers. Kobe Brea was kind of like in a G League. He played. Let me look it up because I don't want to tell you guys a lie. Kobe Brea is averaging 2 points per game. And he did not play in the last 10 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, he's only played in 2 games this year. Averaged 2 points. He didn't really shoot that much. So having him at a 74 is crazy. I had him at a 74 based off of what he did in the preseason, but yeah. He's only played 2 games. So I had to drop him down to be below all these players. Royce O'Neal went minus 2. He's another one. He's pretty much just like a role player. He's a solid role player because I mean he plays good defense. He can guard wings. He can get you 10 points per game, and he shoot a solid field goal percentage from 3. I mean he shoots 42% from 3. He's a solid role player, but he's not a 79 type player. You know what I mean? Their coach ratings went up 20 on charisma. This stuff actually do makes a difference in your NBA, especially in simulation. He went plus 20 in charisma, made it a 66, and plus 5 in analytics, made it an 80. I like the ratings that I have for him right here already. I don't think I need to boost it any higher. He has to show me that he can deliver on that type of level. Getting over to the OKC Thunder, I made some changes to the positions. Caruso was moved to shooting guard. He's pretty much like a shooting guard, small forward. I had him at small forward because that's what he played last year. But this year he's actually playing more at the 2 than he is at the 3. I watched quite a few games. Caruso is listed as a guard. He is a shooting guard, and sometimes he plays the 3. Not as much. I've seen him play some point guard, not as much. AJ Mitchell actually holds down the backup point guard when he does come in, but Shea plays a lot of minutes. Well, not a lot of minutes. He really don't play that many minutes because most games he was sitting out the 4th quarter. But AJ Mitchell is mostly the backup point guard or the other point guard. Caruso do kind of run point from a shooting guard position. I had him at small forward, power forward at first because that's what he played last year. But he played pretty much like a combo of small forward, shooting guard, power forward. Lou Dort actually been playing shooting guard, power forward, so I gave him a shooting guard, power forward bumper. Cason Wallace has been the one that's been playing the small forward position with the shooting guard bumper because he's pretty much just like that corner wing guy, but he can pretty much lock up and clamp up your wings like your like your spot up shooters, um, players like Kawhi Leonard. He can wear them down. Now, can he clamp them and guard them a whole game? No. But he can pretty much like wear them down without wearing down like Jalen Williams and Lou Dort. It kind of gives them a break. Cason Wallace is actually a solid addition to this team, and he needs to stay around more. Him and Caruso need to stay around more because they actually give these starters a big break on defense with them guarding the biggest players. I mean, the best players, and they may not score that much. Caruso may not score that much, but their defense is so good that it gives the starters a break, which is why Shea really doesn't really have to guard that much anyways. Um but back to what I was saying. Wiggins, he has a power forward shooting guard bumper, and Kenrich Williams has a power forward small forward bumper because like these guys, they pretty much just play power forward. It's time for Jalen Williams to have an update. He has long dreads. I mean, he hasn't had this hairstyle since his rookie year. Like, this is crazy. 3 years and his hairstyle still hasn't changed. Back to the ratings though. Isaiah Hartenstein went -4 to an 82. Um, I had him at an 86. That was entirely too high. I was basically going off of who he was last year in the playoffs. He was a lot more productive last year. Um, Now he's been out with injury for the last 10, I think it was the last 10 games, but he has been averaging 11 points per game this year, and he's averaged 10 points per game. Excuse me. He's been averaging 11 points per game with 10.4 rebounds per game and 3.0 assists point game per game and 1.1 steal per game and almost one block per game. So I went down -5. That was entirely too high for him. I lowered his 3-point scoring. He doesn't take any threes at all. So I pretty much completely took that away. Last year he did attempt quite a few. I think it was but I mean, he can shoot it, but he's not. I thought he was gonna be more like a Myers Leonard type player, but he's actually turned into a solid big and good post defense, good inside scoring as well. Um, so yeah, that's why that happened. Lou Dort went -1 to an 84. He wasn't really putting up the same stats as well either. Um, Somebody said he might be up for trade talks, but the Thunder would be stupid to do that. His numbers do fluctuate. However, he does average 8 points per game. He's shooting 34% from three. So his three ball is definitely down this year. But that could just be from him like playing defense all the time. So maybe you need to drop that three down a little bit. Oh, I already dropped it. Okay. I might need to turn on the 3-point attempts. Yeah, that's way too much. Caruso went -2 to an 81. Same thing for him. I might have to drop him a little bit lower, but because his defense and playmaking is so good, that's the only reason why I don't want to drop him. He's averaging 6 points per game, but he's shooting 41.7% from the field and 30.1% from three. Uh, he's averaging 2.8 rebounds and 2.1 assists, 1.4 steals, and 0.4 blocks. So that's why his rating just dropped a lot. Uh, his 3 point pretty much went down to 76, 78, 78. I dropped his playmaking and things like that. I kept his steals up because I mean he's averaging quite a few steals. Like I said, solid player. Um, AJ Mitchell went -1. All I did was bump his intangibles down. Jalen Williams went -2 to a 78. And Aaron Wiggins went -2 to a 76. And that was it for them as well. Um, let's go back to a couple teams that I had already did, but I had to fix. The Sacramento Kings, for those of you who don't know, Domantas Sabonis is now back. He's in the starting lineup. DeMar DeRozan got moved back to small forward. He went +8 to an 84. Uh, I I had dropped him a lot. -4 would be an 80, -4 would be a 76. So yeah, I had him at a 76. I mean, he wasn't playing that good. Lately, he's been putting up some solid bursts. He's been playing better, I guess, getting that trade uh, demand up. Let's see what his stats is. He's averaging 19.1 points per game, 50.8 field goal percentage, 36.2 from three, 3.3 rebounds, 4.0 assists, 1.4 steals. Yeah, he's been on one lately. He had 23 against the Heat, 14 against the Blazers, 17 against the Wizards, 27 against the Knicks, 32 against the Lakers, 22 against the Rockets, 24 against the Warriors, 21 against the Mavericks. He's been on one. So he went +8 to an 84. Uh, Keegan Murray went back to power forward. He has not been back yet from injury, but he went -1 to an 81. The Kings coach, since he got the team playing a little better than what he was, I went +20 on his offense to a 40. I went +15 on his defense to a 32. And I went +25 on his analytics to a 35. I'm not really high on Doug Christie. Until he gets better, his ratings is gonna stay like that. To the Miami Heat, KL Ware went -3 to a 77. Myron Gardner got moved back to small forward. I had him at shooting guard, but he's listed as a small forward. He went +2 to a 72, and that's because he was getting playing time. He was in rotation, so I bumped him up. Kasparas Giacosanis went to shooting guard, point guard, and pretty much just like touched up a few tendencies here and there. I think they may trade Tyler Hero or somebody in here. I don't know. This roster is just missing something. I think it's a real point guard, but I don't know. It's hard to say. Back to the 76ers. Joel Embiid went +1. I had to increase his scoring. He's been scoring really good lately. I've actually watched quite a few games. His three ball is better. His mid-range shot is better. I'm still gonna leave his speed and vertical down. There's times where it looked like he can't really lift. He's getting dunked on a lot. So I went down on his interior defense. I mean, I really need to drop his interior defense some more because I mean he doesn't really have any defense at all. I mean, I dropped these defensive His rating is that high basically off scoring. Let's just put it like that. I got his crash high, and his driving strong is turned all the way down because he's always falling. I mean, he is strong though. 77. He's been really good scoring. So he went +1 to an 87. Trenton Watford went -1 to a 74, and that was just to get him out of rotation. Jabari Walker has actually been playing the power forward, the backup power forward. Um, for us, he went +1 as well. It's time for him to have a hair update as well. He has very long dreads. Well, not very long, but it's at least down to his back. It's time for him to have a hair update as well. Andre Drummond went -5 to a 75. He was an 80, but I mean he's falling out of rotation. He's really struggled, and Adem Bona is actually taking over that position. I don't know for how long, but Abona has been playing really, really good. So he went +2 to a 74. Now I don't know if I'm gonna move him above Drummond yet because I don't know how long they're gonna bench Drummond for Bona, or if they're gonna send Bona back to the G League for Drummond. Jared McCain got sent back to the G League, and they've been running with like Maxey and Edge come at point guard. Quentin Grimes been playing some point guard too. Oubre has been coming in off the bench. And I also updated his accessories as well. So yeah, that looked really good as well. Paul George has been playing pretty good too. And that's it for them. Let's get over to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Julius Randle went +1 to an 86. He's been actually carrying his team when Anthony Edwards is out. Anthony. I was trying to see if I could get like a lower hairstyle for him. Dante DiVincenzo went +1 to an 81. He's been playing pretty solid too. Mike Conley went -1 to a 74. Him and Bones Highland been alternating at backup point guard. Bones Highland was another person that I had to add back in his original like scan mod, whatever you call it. Because I used his rookie one to change the shoes, so I went back and added his other one, and they unlocked his shoes as well. So I created the Kobe 4 blacks and the Mamba blacks. The Mamba blacks is from the Kobe 5. These are the Kobe 4s. He actually wears the Kobe 4 and the Kobe 5. I don't know which ones, how he wears them, so I put one on home and one on away. He wears a lot of Kobe's, but in his original official 2K scan or player, they had him on with Under Armour, and he was locked under Under Armour, but he hasn't been with Under Armour in almost 2 years. So yeah, Rob Dillingham went -2 to a 70. I mean, he's pretty much falling out of rotation. He got shipped to the G League. I'm starting to think that pick is going to be a bust. They tried to develop him and it's not working. That pick right there is going to be a bust. Maybe if they send him to another team, maybe they could get the best out of him. But as of right now, he's cooked. Johnny Juzang went +1 to a 74. He's actually been filling in for Terrence Shannon Jr., who has been injured. He should be coming back pretty soon. Jalen Clark. Where is he at? He went +2 to a 77. And Rudy Gobert went +1 to an 80. His scoring though, I cooked it, but it's basically like his defense and rebounding is like what really got him up. I dropped his speed and stuff like that. He can't really jump. He doesn't really have any lift, but he's still a good defensive rebounding player. Getting over to the Portland Trail Blazers, I made some quite moves with the positions. Um, I don't know what they're gonna do with Scoot Henderson whenever he comes back. I mean, dude must have had a blowout with his hamstring because he was supposed to be back right now, but I mean, I don't know. Um, Caleb Love, I moved him back to shooting guard. I had moved him to point guard, but he's pretty much been like the shooting guard. Coming in for Sharp and Denny Avi, I just gave him a small forward point guard bumper because Drew Holiday is back, so I moved him back to small forward. Rupert has actually been the one coming in for Avia, and Sissoko was the one coming in at like shooting guard, but playing small forward as well. Um, so I don't know what they're gonna do when all these players come back because these players have been vital. Uh, yeah, and I moved Jeremy Grant back to power forward because he was starting. Um, so yeah, Denny Avia went +1 to a 90, and I changed a lot of his tendencies as well. Uh, Rupert Ryan Rupert went +3 to a 75. CD Sissoko went +4 to a 73. And Tumani Kamara went -2 to an 80. Um, I did their coaching ratings. The offense went +6 to an 80. Defense went +10 to a 79. Charisma went +10 to a 74. Analytics went +6 to a 78. Tiago Splitter has gotten the most out of this team. He's actually a better coach than Chauncey Billups. Like being honest, they made he's gonna get a 4 to 5 year deal when this season ends. I guarantee it. He's gonna get like a 4 or 5 year deal with this team. Getting over to the Golden State Warriors. For those of you who don't know, Jimmy Butler is out for this season, and he's gonna be out for most of next season too. Excuse my voice, y'all. I went to the gym, and I guess I got a lot of air in my lungs because I'm gonna keep having to clear my throat. I'm gonna drink some warm tea after this. LJ Cryer went +2 to a 68. I had him at a 66, but that was too low. He was actually getting some playing time. Not recently, but he actually did get some playing time. He's actually in the G League now. Let's look up his stats real quick. I know he's better than a 66 though. He's averaged 1.5 points when he did play. He's only played 2.5 games. He shot 50% from three, 33% from field goal, but he hasn't really taken that many shots. Uh, he actually puts up better numbers in the G League, but he's better than a 66. Like 66 is what I did for my generic G League players. Richards, Will Richard went +1 to a 75. He's been coming off the bench. Um, they actually had Moody and Pajimski starting in a few games, but then I saw Curry, Moody, and Payton. So I don't know if they're just tweaking the lineups. They finally added in Jonathan Kuminga, but I had already finished the roster before he played. He's actually better than a 74. I just think he doesn't. fit with the roster, and Steve Kerr doesn't like him. Quentin Post went -1 to a 75. Al Horford went +1 to a 76. And that was because he was starting over Post. He was actually starting. Um, and Steph Curry went +1 to a 93. I changed him to the Kobe Mamba Blacks because he did wear Kobe's for a few games. Now he's wearing the Caitlin Clarks. I don't have the Caitlin Clarks. Maybe 2K will add them to the game. Or maybe I'll have to create them. I don't know. But even if I did create them, y'all wouldn't be able to play with them because the shoes I create, it's only for me, which is a bummer. That's enough of that roster. I did play around with the positions some more. I went point guard, shooting guard with Pat Spencer, point guard, shooting guard, Seth Curry. But I think Seth Curry is more of a shooting guard, point guard. I don't know how they're gonna do that because I mean they had him playing point for a minute and then they moved him back to shooting guard. Uh, they had Milton at shooting guard and bouncing from point to shooting guard. Now he doesn't even play point at all. I mean he stays hurt all the time. Buddy Hield barely touches the court, but he might. I don't know. This roster is like a terrible roster. It really is. It's a terrible roster. Uh, right now I got Green and Santos in the lineup. I don't have Kuminga in the lineup, so that's how that's gonna go. For the Wizards, I moved around a lot of players. I moved AJ Johnson back to point guard. I had him at shooting guard. I moved Koulibaly back to shooting guard, small forward. I had him at small forward shooting guard, and I moved Jameer Watkins back to shooting guard. He was small forward shooting guard. I moved Keyshawn George back to small forward, power forward, and Justin Shapani went back to small forward shooting guard. Cam Whitmore went back to small forward, power forward, which he might get traded from what I've been seeing on Twitter. Will Riley has been the backup power forward behind Chris Middleton. They're going to let Chris Middleton finish the year out. I mean, he doesn't really have a trade market, but he is in the last year of his deal, so they're going to pretty much just wash his contract out, and they're going to reset. Um, and yeah, I've already had Bagley move back to center. So AJ Johnson went +2. Where is he at? To a 75. He's been the backup point guard. Trae Young is probably not going to come back for the rest of the year. From what I've been seeing, they say he may come back around All-Star break. I don't think he's going to come back at all. They said he has an MCL sprain, but I think they're going to hold him out to kind of tank the rest of the year out. So you're going to have Bud Carrington and AJ Johnson pretty much holding it down at point guard. Um, Bud Carrington went +2 to a 77. He's actually gotten better. Uh, Bylaw Koulibaly went -2. He's still kind of struggling. Trey Johnson has actually taken over that shooting guard spot now. Some games like they alternate. Some games he's starting, some games he's starting. I mean, I don't know. I guess they're just testing out lineups. Trey Johnson went +5 to an 80. He was a 75 last time. Uh, Malachi Branham went -2 to a 70. Keyshawn George went +3 to an 81. Cam Whitmore went -3 to a 73. He was struggling before he got hurt anyways. He has a vein thrombosis in his shoulder. The same thing Wemby had last year when he got out. It's pretty much like a blood clot in your shoulder. So yeah, he's gonna be done for. Jameer Watkins went +1 to a 74. And Will Riley went +7 to a 77. Um, he was a 70 the last time I had him on my roster, but they had him playing point guard for a minute. He's actually playing power forward now. He's playing power forward. He does play shooting guard a little bit. They have him listed as a forward on some website, and then they have him listed as a guard on some website. So I don't know. Uh, I've seen some rosters have Champagne at power forward, but he does not play power forward at all. He bounces from guards. Uh, if you want to put like Koulibaly at power forward, I don't know. This roster is like crazy to me, honestly. Chris Middleton kind of like clogs up a lot of things for this roster, honestly. Um, he's averaging 5 points per game, 2.0 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting 40% from the field. There's no way I could leave him at a 70. Maybe a 77 was a little high, but eh, I'm gonna stick with that until I can see otherwise. Um, I don't know. Maybe he might get a -2 if he keeps putting up those numbers. I mean, he did play pretty decent for a minute, but I don't know. He's falling off a cliff these last few games. I mean, he's been putting up duds lately, like one against the Clippers, 7 against the Nuggets, 6 against the Kings, 12 against the Clippers, 9 against the Suns, 0 against the Pelicans, 0 against the 76ers, 4 against the Magic, 6 against the Timberwolves, 9 against the Nets. I mean, he's had good scoring games, and then he's had some where he just goes 0-5, 0-2, 0-3, 3 for 8, 2 for 8, 2 for 7. So I don't know. They move him around a lot. I've seen him at small forward. I've seen him at power forward. I've seen him at shooting guard. I don't know. Um. So yeah. Uh. The coach ratings. Offense went +10 to a 45. Defense went +10 to a 41. Analytics went +10 to a 26. Yeah, I'm not high on Brian Keefe either. So yeah, that is the complete roster update for the trade deadline roster. Uh, took 8 pages of work. 8 pages of work to get that roster updated. Watched a lot of games. Um, retweet a lot of badges, tendencies, shoes, coach ratings, play styles, playbooks, coach emphasis, um, scout advice. A lot went into it. So this is the complete trade deadline roster. Please like, share, and subscribe. Peace.